The other reason Latinos voted for Trump that we're not talking about is because they wanted to punish women. They wanted to punish liberated women. They come to this country, and a lot of them are extremely resentful of the fact that they have to answer to women. And this is something that we don't really talk about, right? But it's something I've experienced a lot, especially from like South American men. I know that a lot of Americans still don't want to believe that Latinos are white, but I want you to ask yourself two questions. Who colonized Latin America, and where did those colonizers go? Okay, so they might not be what you consider to be white, as in white American, but they are a flavor of white, all right? The same way that Europeans don't view Americans the same as them, the same way that there are different factions even within America when it comes to like Italians and Irish people and Jewish people and just, WASPs and stuff like that. They are white, and you have to kind of let that get into your head, okay? So they come to this countries that are extremely male-centered patriarchal countries where women are not in any way, shape, or form empowered the way that they are here, and they have to answer to women. And not only that, they have to answer to black women, and they hate that shit. They hate that shit. Okay, so they wanted to humble you. That's what they did. While you're fighting for their rights, while you're fighting for them to get in here, they're fucking humbling you. The women too, because a lot of Latina women, and if you know Latina women, you're gonna know what I'm talking about, especially the most conservative ones. They're doing their dirt, they're doing all this stuff, but they hide it from their families. They keep it quiet. They take advantage of all the freedom they have here, and then they go back and pretend that they're, la niña buena, the little good girl. But at the end of the day, they're resentful of the fact that they can't be as free as a lot of women who openly go against the social norms of the patriarchy. And so they want to punish you. They want to humble you. The women that I know that voted for this man or that didn't vote are not women that I would consider to be women who would push back against the status quo. They're not. They're not women that openly speak up about women's rights. They're not women that do that. They only care about themselves. And there is a level of resentment within them to see other women that are not held back by the same things that they're held back because they're male-centered and they don't want to lose that approval. As a Latina that has always been open since I was a young girl, before I understood what feminism was, I've always spoken my mind. When I tell you the amount of pushback I've gotten, I've been called masculine. I've been told that no one would ever marry me because I'm not submissive enough. I've been told so much crap. I've been told that I'm too liberated. I've been told that I'm a man hater. I've been told that I'm a know-it-all. I get told all kinds of crap by Latinas that are supposedly liberated, by Latinas that you would think they wouldn't be anti-feminist. Okay, so you have to understand that it isn't just about racism. It's about feminism. It's about humbling us. It's about putting us in our place. So from here on out, the next 4 years, if you were already like becoming, an opinionated woman, if you were already being intense, or if you were on the fence about it, I want the next 4 years for you to be a raging feminist. I want you to be repulsive to these people. I want you to be a fucking problem. I want you to rub it in their face. And I want you to stop fighting for the rights of people that come to this country and want to limit your rights, because we barely gained our own rights. We barely gained our own rights. And the people that we've been helping came here and decided that they didn't want to see us liberated, that they want to see us the same way that the women in their countries are. And I'm not just talking about the men, I'm talking about the women too. They're pick-me's. A lot of them are pick-me's. So yeah, think about that, because moving forward, I know I'm not an anti-immigration person, but I've been seeing this coming down the pipe for a long time because of the amount of people that we've been letting in here. I was like nervous for years because I'm like, this is definitely going to flip the country red. This is definitely going to flip the country red. And again, I'm not anti-immigration, but I want you to use your noggin, okay? France doesn't have birthright citizenship. Haiti doesn't have birthright citizenship. The minute Trump got elected, Canada closed its doors. We don't have to be anti-immigration, but we need to have some standards, because we barely got rights and now we're losing them to people who came from their country, and now they're turning it into what they came from. Think of all the people that are behind this. Undocumented immigrants that got elected, that got naturalized, that got citizenship, they voted for this. I know people who were going through programs like DACA. There was another program previously that Clinton had in place. They voted for this shit. A lot of these DACA recipients, as soon as they get citizenship, are likely going to vote for this shit. They're going to keep voting red. And we just keep letting them into the country. The New York City Council, do you know what they've been doing as New York has been flipping further and further red? As all of these little media organizations and blogs were on the streets asking Latinos who they voted for or who they would vote for if they weren't undocumented. I'm talking about people that are here right now undocumented, that came here for asylum. They would ask them and they'd say, I would vote for Trump. I would vote for Trump. I'd vote for Trump. All over the country, people are seeing formerly undocumented people, currently undocumented people saying that either voted or they would vote for Trump. And the New York City Council over here was pushing for undocumented people to vote in local elections. an incredibly unpopular movement in the middle of this craziness that we have going on here, while the people that they're trying to help are actively working against us. We need to have higher standards for immigration. We can't just let people show up here without being educated, without making sure that they don't respect our rights, because we're going to keep losing them. People are envious. People have a crabs in the bucket mentality, and people hate women. They hate women, especially Latinos, especially a lot of these people from male-centered countries. All right. And we're just working against our own interests. Women need to have standards. We can't just support everyone. We have this mentality of like wanting everyone to be okay, and we'll screw ourselves over for that. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. And I know you might know a lot of people right now that they're scared and they're suffering and all this stuff and that they wouldn't vote red. But I want you to ask yourself this question. Do they openly speak up for women's rights? Do they openly speak up for Black people's rights? Or do they only care about their own situation? Because this is another thing about a lot of Latinos, even if they're left-leaning. They still want to be approved of by their family. So they're not going to vocally speak out for anything but themselves. They're not going to openly challenge the culture. They're not going to do it. And if they're not willing to do that, they are also a part of the fucking problem. So if you're going to get into this country, you have to be the kind of person that openly fights for our rights. Not the kind of person that comes here and benefits from it, and then you want to shut up because you don't want to make your parents mad. Fuck that shit.